We are back live on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We're live on YouTube. I mean, guys, it may have been the chalkiest tournament in quite some time, but damn, did it give us some great basketball these two eyes have ever seen in the Final Four. I mean, Walter Clayton in Florida come back from an 8-point halftime deficit. They shoot Auburn out of the gym in one semifinal. And then, oh my God, one of the best games I think I've ever seen. Duke's late game collapse. They owned a 6-point lead with 38 seconds left. I mean, just one of the biggest choke jobs I've ever seen or could remember for quite some time. Fellas, thoughts on the Final Four? We all know I've been riding Houston for 2 years now. It's incredible to see how that game ended. But Matt, just give us some general thoughts on the Final Four so far.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Final Four was kind of a little bit of a snapshot of what kind of the tournament's been in terms of these top teams when they can get down early, but they just don't give up. They come back, and no lead seems to be safe. Wasn't that way in the Sweet 16 with some teams, the Elite Eight, and the Final Four. So that's something to maybe be mindful of tonight. I would be really surprised if one of these teams gets up double digits, but if it happens, don't be surprised if the other team comes back. I thought those were two entertaining games. I thought the coaching for Auburn and the coaching for Duke was horrendous in the second half.
Yes. And
then the players themselves just didn't deliver when they could have, when they should have. And Duke was just real sloppy, they panicked. And, we always talk about that, guys. These teams that haven't been in close games for a long time, and Duke had not been in one for a long time, and it didn't look like they were going to be in one in this game. I think they were up 9 with 4 minutes to go. It was crazy. This thing was another coasted in, and they got tight, and you know what got tighter than that, and that's what happened. And give Houston all the credit because they didn't give up, and that's a refuse to lose team right now.
Yeah, Alpha, you talked about, or you agreed with the coaching strategy or the lack thereof of Duke and Auburn. Just talk a little bit about that. What did you see?
Especially in the Duke game. The Duke game is the one that stands out the most to me because, to me, yes, Houston won the game, but Duke really lost that game. That game was in the bag. They had one basket the final 10 minutes and 30 seconds, something. I think it was 10:28, right around there.
They put the inbounds in. They couldn't get the ball in.
And they didn't make the free throw. And they didn't make the free throw at the line. Proctor, one of their veteran guys. So, to me, a lot of people are blaming the erroneous call on Cooper Flagg. Yes. Was that a horrible call? Absolutely. Did that cost Duke the game? Absolutely not. They had 9,000 other chances to win this game. The best way I could put it after the game, and you guys know I messaged the two of you about it, I was in shock. Genuinely, I was in shock. Duke was up, I believe 13 with, 10 minutes to go. This team was looking like a surefire thing. They were the best team all tournament. They built a big lead against a team that struggles on the offensive side. And Houston battled, and I give Houston a ton of credit. But at the end of the day, Duke didn't make a basket for 10 and a half minutes. And if they play that game 50 times, Duke wins it 47 times.
Yeah, I think they had 2 field goals in 11 minutes or something like that. And then Houston, in the final couple minutes, they went on just an 11-1 run. It was unbelievable to watch. And then LJ Cryer comes in with 3 seconds left, bangs the 2 free throws to put the actual dagger in Duke's heart. It was just, I don't know about you guys, but one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen.
I love to watch it. I was on Duke, but I still love to watch it. It was a great win, and it was great to see those Houston players.
I was on Duke in the first half. That thing cashed again, so at least that was.
There you go. You had it.
Offense, man.
That was a hell of a run they went on, and but they won't be there tonight to bet it. Quick question for you guys, and I can't stand his sanctimonious ass. I think he's as shady as Tark was.
That's always got somebody to hate on. I love it.
But does Coach K win that game?
I was going to bring that up. I was about to say it. Yes. I know John Shire's new in the game, and to me, he doesn't have the experience of a Coach K, but you give Coach K.
Oh, he sat in his right arm forever. He should know how to win a game like that.
He should, but if it was Coach K, they win that game by 10. They win.
He's in the crowd. Pull him out of the crowd. Get him up there.
Yeah, right.
That'd have been the first. And then also we'll talk about coaches. Kelvin Sampson, the post game interview, just made me want to run through a brick wall for Houston. His just like, don't sleep on Houston. I'm like, damn straight. Do not.
As a Houston backer, I'm sure you enjoyed every bit of that press conference.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was in the bathroom, not taking number 2. I was just there and I just frozen watching it for like the last 3 minutes, and then I couldn't move because they went on that 11-1 run, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm not moving. This is insane."
That's a lucky spot. You can't ruin the flow. I'm with that.
I didn't even watch it on a TV. I was watching it on my phone. I was like, I can't move. This is insane. From a guy with the plus 600 national championship bet on the line tonight. with
Nice.
Houston, of course. But before we get into that game, before we cap it, let's cap the MVP. Who's winning MVP? We were talking a bit about it before the show went online. There's two pretty big favorites in LJ Cryer and Walter Clayton Jr., and then the rest are like plus 1,500. Matt, who do you have to take home the Final Four MVP?
Look, it's who you mentioned. I mean, it's going to be Cryer, and the only way it's not Cryer or it's not Clayton is if whoever's on the winning team gets hurt. Even if they play a shitty game, they're going to win the MVP based on what they've done coming into this. We can go over the stats. We'll talk about those later. It's just amazing. These two guys, they literally carried their team to the national championship game.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a long shot, if you're looking for that, what if one of these guys goes down, injuries? I think Houck for Florida is a good bet. He's been playing extremely, extremely well. And as far as Houston goes, I think that Uzan is Milos is a good candidate, but I think that they're other. I was talking about. I like Elijah Martin too in terms of Florida. Well, I think he's something special, but I think that Sharp for Houston. That's what I'm thinking of. Would be the guy that has had a great tournament. But I can't again. If Houston wins and Cryer has an average, even below average game, he's going to win it. Same thing with Clayton, with Florida and Clayton, although I can't see Florida winning the game if Clayton's not a madman in this game. Same thing with Cryer. So, it's hard not to go chalk.
Shout out Grant Mitchell. He's covering he's covering Matt's face right now, but he did a lot of great work for Oddspedia throughout this tournament as well. He bet Houston pre-tournament at plus 750. I got them after their first round plus 600. He hedged with Duke before the Final Four. He definitely sees the Cougs coming through. I do as well, but yeah, Matt, you're right. I mean, there's top guys. We see it on the screen right now. You got Walter Clayton, you got LJ Cryer, and the other guys like Juwan Roberts could if they have a huge game. There's a few other guys on Houston that I really like as well. Milos Uzan, he could have a huge game as well. If he comes through for Houston, I mean, he's dropped a few double-digit games, and LJ Cryer for some reason has an off game. I don't see that happening. That could be a long shot bet to take a look at. But for me, I'm going with my boy. I'm going with LJ. He was 1,400 at the time of our last show. He's now, as you can see, plus 170. He came out and dropped 26 on Duke's head, sealed the deal with 2 free throws. We were talking about it off the top of the show. He was 6 of 9 from three-point land to book Houston a national title shot. I've been on him all tournament. I'm pissed I didn't take him when his number was closer to plus 6,000 before the tournament started. But we did buy in at plus 1,400 during the Sweet 16. I mean, the math is simple, man. It's the best scorer on a team with a minus 105 chance to win the national title. He's dropped 30. He's dropped 17. He most recently dropped 26. And arguably the biggest game of his career. Most of those points coming in the second half with Houston trailing. You know what I mean? On a defense-first team with guys like Tugler, Roberts racking up the blocks, Houston will need Cryer tonight. He's not only going to score, but he's going to facilitate. He'll need to keep up with the Walter Claytons of the world if this Cougar team is gonna finish off this Destiny-style run. Because taking down Duke in the style that they did is kind of a Destiny-style run, to be honest. So give me LJ Cryer to win MVP at plus 170 right now. I think it is. Yeah, plus 170. I love the guy right now. So we're on him. We have him at plus 1,400 as well. But yeah, let's go LJ Cryer. Alpha, who are you going for?
Well, here's the simplest way to put it, guys. LJ Cryer scored 26 points in the last round. No one else was even close. He was by far the best player and carried his team past Duke into the championship. On the other side, we have basically a similar story on the Florida side. Walter Clayton Jr. has 30-plus points in back-to-back games. So unless either one of them breaks their leg 2 minutes into the game, whoever wins this game, the winning player from that team is taking home the award. To me, I personally wouldn't mess around and take any of the long shots here. I think it's a clear two-person race. If you think Florida is going to win, you take Walter Clayton. If you think Houston's going to win, you take LJ Cryer. I think it really is as simple as that. And as you put up on the screen earlier, the odds are very indicative of that. You see that nobody else is within plus 1,000. So it really is a two-man race. For me, with everything being said, this should give a lot of information away about who I like in this game tonight. But my MVP is Walter Clayton Jr.
There you go. So you want Houston to win then?
Yes, 100%.
I mean, Walter Clayton is just unbelievable. It's funny because he wasn't on draft boards as I was reading like throughout the tournament or before the tournament started. And now everyone's saying this is an NBA style player. You guys are absolutely crazy to not put him on your draft boards. He is everything that he could in this tournament and more to get Florida in the position that they are today. Like the Steph Curry style jump shot that he has, he can make a shot out of anything. If there's a man on him, he'll find his he'll find an opening and drain a three. He'll make all the off balance shots beyond the arc. He's just one of those guys that you can go to with the game on the line as well. And he's going to drain a three. Like he's just one of those guys that he's probably benefited the most from March Madness and his drafts. And stock,
we're speaking about a guy from Iona, guys. Iona.
Yeah.
He's moved his way up through the portal, gone to Florida, and now, have you guys seen a player who reminds you as much of Steph Curry as Walter Clayton? I was going to bring that up later, but you kind of alluded to it, Dustin, when you said he has a Steph Curry type jump shot. That's all I've been reading over the last 2 days. Is this guy the next Steph Curry? And the more you watch him, the more you think about it. I mean, there's no play that proves to me he has a chance to be a 3-point level, not like Curry, but, a little bit less, but still a very good player, was against Texas Tech. When he got the ball at around the free throw line, turned around, ran outside the 3-point line, and put up a three with a minute left and made that shot. That one play was like, that was Steph Curry. That was Steph Curry. And to me, he's showing it more and more. And it's good to see a guy like him come from Iona, go to Florida to earn himself an NBA spot, because that's what he's done.
Yeah, he's just a shot creator. He creates shots out of nothing too, and he makes them. A lot of his shots, I'm like, why are you shooting that? And then it'll go in. I'm like, all right, I'll just shut my mouth for the rest of the game and watch you play.
I'll tell you what's more impressive to me is his fearlessness. He goes to the basket against big boys and gets done.
Yeah, it's not just a shot. You're right. It's not just a shot. He's got handles. He drives to the basket. He's kind of like that all-around player. But March Madness has done nothing but absolutely rocket his draft share and his draft stock. Good for him. But guys, you know what we're doing? Why we came here? We've got the MVPs down. We're gonna, obviously talk about who we think are gonna win, and then we're gonna drop our 2 best props. So let's get into it, man. Houston versus Florida tonight. 64% of bets are on Florida at -1.5. 83% are on the over at 140.5. Alpha, I'll start with you, man. Who are you on tonight?
I think everyone knows by me giving away my Final Four pick, but I'm on Florida here on the money line tonight. I'm not messing around with the 1.5. If this game ends by 1 point and Florida wins by 1, imagine having that -1.5 ticket. What a disaster. Pay the extra 5 cents or whatever it is at the moment to take the money line. Give yourself a little security. But to me, I do think Florida's the deepest team in the country. They're not the best defensive team in the country, but offensively, they have so much firepower on this team. And one difference about Florida and Duke is that Florida's going to push the pace a little bit more than Duke did, and that could give Houston some fits. I know Houston's a great defensive team, but if they have to be running and gunning all game long, I see that very much favoring the Florida side. They can go all game, and they have plenty of guys who can shoot the ball. The big question, though, Walter Clayton, I think he's going to need a 30 bomb. I think he's going to need to put up 30 points in this game and have the biggest performance he's had so far. Matt, you alluded to it earlier. He's fearless. So I'm not afraid of him needing to be in that spot, because we've seen all tournament long whether he needs to attack the rim against the big men, pull up some threes in front of guys off crazy angles. He can do it, and he can do it very well. So to me, Walter Clayton, to me, is the best player in the tournament so far. He's shown that he deserves to be the Final Four MVP, and he's going to carry his team to the national championship.
Yeah, it's funny that you say the 1.5 might be too much, because we are working with razor thin margins tonight. Like these teams are as evenly matched as you can possibly find. So capping this game it's coming down to the last 2 minutes of the game. I think it'll always be a tight game the entire way. There won't be a blowout tonight. Matt, who are you on tonight, brother?
Your turn. I'll be the tiebreaker.
Okay, I'll go. All right. Oh, this guy, he wants.
We have no idea we have no idea. Yeah, Dustin is on here, ladies and gentlemen. The suspense has been building.
This is crazy. I know I'm on Houston tonight, but before I get into why, I mean, let's just say it's going to be one hell of a game. Like I said, there's not going to be a blowout. But yeah, before I get into it, man, I want to talk about the intangibles before we talk numbers. I mean, Houston's 3-0 in close games in this tournament. They simply have the clutch gene. It started with a 5-point win against Gonzaga. It continued with Uzans making a game-winning layup with 2 seconds left against Purdue. It was on full display one more time against Duke. They overcame a 14-point deficit, a 6-point deficit with 30 seconds left. They went on an 11-1 run with 1 minute and 4 seconds left. There's nothing else I can say that just kind of explains how incredible this team is and how much of a Destiny-style run they're on. You had Kelvin Sampson battle-tested after the game. Don't sleep on Houston. But against Florida, like I said, man, it's an incredibly even matchup. It's the number 9 ranked offense and the number 1 ranked defense per KenPom. That's Houston taking on the number 2 ranked offense, the 9th ranked defense, which is Florida. I mean, Florida's simply never seen a defense of this magnitude, though. Maryland was fine. They're the closest, they're the most comparable to Houston. But the next best defense they played was Texas Tech, which ranked 39th in adjusted defense per Matt's guy, KenPom. Also, KenPom's the stud. Let's just get that out there right now. But on the other side, we all know Houston has played the best offense in the country in Duke, and we all know what happened, how that ended. This game will come down to either the Houston defense. It'll come down to whether or not the Houston defense can shut down Walter Clayton, and if LJ Cryer and 𝐬𝐭𝐸 can get it done on the offensive side. You know me, man. For the second straight year, I'm embracing the defense wins championship status. I'm taking Houston to win the Natty Championship for the first time in program history. I'm also sliding a little shekels on the under at 140. I think it's going to be a very large defensive game, but I'm loving Houston money line. Give me those Cougars, man. I'm on Cougars. Matt, let's see the tiebreaker, bud.
No hedge in your vocabulary, is there?
No, we're going. Houston,
well, you know what? Everything you said about Houston in close games, it applies to Florida. Florida nearly went home in the second round by the 2-time defending national champs, barely survived them. They had to rally big time in the lead 8 against Texas Tech. They were down 9 points at halftime to a very good Auburn team. So there's no quit in Florida either, and they've got the ability to come back as well. Look, this game, if this game isn't close, I'm going to be shocked. Houston on a 16-game winning streak. Florida 11-game winning streak and 17-1 in their last 18. Dustin, you took the KenPom stats out of my computer. Exactly what I was going to say. We'll point out though you didn't bring out the number 1. The overalls, Houston's number 2, Florida's number 3. You look at recent opponents. Houston beat Tennessee, pummeled them in the Elite 8, and then Florida beat Tennessee to win the SEC title game by 9 points. They also beat them badly at home, but got crushed at Tennessee. Florida went 1-1 against Texas Tech. There's a lot of, you can go either way in this situation. I'll point out also Florida 6-1 against teams in the top 20 in KenPom adjusted defensive efficiency. Houston's 10-3 versus teams ranked in the top 20 in adjusted offensive efficiency. Their losses were to Auburn, who's number 3, Alabama, number 4, and Texas, number 5. I'm taking Houston. I think they're a team of destiny. I truly think they're a team of destiny. I think we saw it with Duke. Yes, Duke lost that game as Alpha pointed out. They lost that game as much as Houston won it, but Houston didn't quit. They could have quit. How many teams would not have let Duke lose that game? They would have just folded their tent. And I look at Houston also as a team. Their losses, if they've lost their last, their first 3 losses were all in overtime. They lost to Alabama on a neutral court, San Diego State on a neutral court, and Texas Tech at home. And they haven't lost a game by more than 5 points all season. Those were their last 3 losses. And they also lost to Auburn in the second game of the season by 5 points. It's a team that could easily be undefeated, really. I'm not going to be surprised if Florida wins this game. I'm not. They've got the better players. Much as I like Cryer, Clayton's just too hot right now. But I agree with both you guys on in your assessments. Look, if Clayton's not in the 25-point range, I don't know that Florida's got enough, because Houston's going to. We'll talk about props in a minute. Houston's going to have to let somebody go, and they're not. They're going to do their best on Clayton. But I think what the smart thing to do is shut down the other guys, because Clayton's going to get his anyway. So I like a close game. If I'm taking Houston, I guess you got to take the under, because I think it's going to be Florida over or Houston under. I'll be surprised if those correlations don't pan out. But again, this is a tough game and a fun game. Again, if it's anything more than a 7-point margin, and that would only be because of free throws late, I'll be shocked.
So I'm going to be locked in from tip-off. The only thing that I could see is like Cryer's a very solid defensive point guard, as well as being a pretty good shooter. And he'll be on, obviously, Clayton tonight. And then on top of that, you have those guys with the 7'4" wingspan in the backcourt or the front court as well. And it's just like something has to give. Something has to give.
But Florida's mentality should be to get those guys in foul trouble, and they have the ability to do it. So that would be a decision.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But so we've got Matt on Houston, Dustin on Houston. We got Alpha on Florida. Hey,
By the way, I have Florida
hear
losing
about
the national championship game, just to Duke. So I'm kind of staying in the same realm as I was before.
Matt, you've been on my team the entire time against Dustin and Houston. It's been us versus
I know
Houston
you guys
and
are
Dustin.
talking crap
And
to
you
me all
jumped
tournament.
ship. You jumped ship. I'm not
I
leaving
know.
the ship.
You guys have been talking crap to me all tournament. I'm the only one with still a team left in the final in our bracket.
Yeah, you
I'm
did
a
good.
little surprised Alpha doesn't see what's going on here. I'm just mushing it. Don't you understand?
100%.
Oh my god! All right, let's head on over to props, fellas. We've got. It's going to be an unbelievable game tonight. Like I said, I'm going to be locked in from opening tip off. But let's get your top 2 props for the night. Alpha, I'll start with you, man. Let's go one each, and we'll go around the table.
Oh, you guys are going to be shocked hearing my props. After hearing everything I've said today, you're going to be shocked to hear that my favorite prop on the game is Walter Clayton Jr. over 19.5 points.
What?
I know. Who would have seen that coming? But realistically, Matt said it. I said it. I know you agree with it too, Dustin, that for Florida to have a chance, 25 needs to be the floor for Walter Clayton. I think he needs to have 30, truthfully, which he's done in 2 consecutive games. So he's hot. He's their guy, and he scored over 30 in 2 straight. You're going to give me a line at only 19.5, and it's not even juiced. It's minus 110 right now. So give me that. I absolutely love the play.
Yeah, if you're looking at more props, Matt dropped his best 5 props for the national championship tonight. Head on over to Oddspedia Insights. Whenever you have time, we got the best Florida versus Houston predictions. We got player props. We got everything that you possibly need on top of this show to get you perfectly ready for tonight and to make some money at the end of the night. Let's make that wallet a little bit fatter tonight. Matt, your favorite prop of the night?
Yeah, well, here we go. We're in agreement, Alpha. I know all the props in the world that we're both on. This tells you guys we don't talk about this beforehand because if I'd have known Alpha, and I should have known he would be, I would have chosen one of my other ones that I gave out. But Walter Clayton Jr. Again, it's
the sexy play. It's the sexy play. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a chalk play too. It's a square play.
Wait till you hear my second one. It's gonna be right in the same line, boys.
But Clayton's points prop is actually 1 point lower than it was against Auburn. It was 20.5 against Auburn. And obviously, the reason that is Houston's defense. We'll talk about that in a second. But 18 games from December 17th to March 1st, Clayton reached 20 points just twice. 10 games since then, he's gone 22, 23, 18, 22, 22, 23, 23, 13, 30, and 34. Tells me this guy rises to the occasion as games get more important, right? The 34-point effort against Duke. Duke's number 5 in adjusted defensive efficiency per Ken Palm. He's also a 90.5% free throw shooter in the tournament. He's got 38 of his 123 points from the foul line, nearly 31%. Speaks to that aggressiveness and fearlessness. He'll get to the foul shot, to the foul line. He's a guy who's built for the spotlight. He thrives on it. And you say, well, what about he's facing Houston, the best defensive team in the country? Cooper Flag just scored 27. Graham Ike for Gonzaga scored 27. 2 Tennessee players, and they're not a very good offensive team, put up 17 in the Elite 8. So it's, again, like I talked about earlier, this could be Clayton going for 27-ish and nobody else on his team scoring more than 15.
It could happen. Seriously.
Yeah, honestly. And hey, before I drop mine, I appreciate you guys. We have around 400 people in the show tonight just hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys coming in, and hopefully, hey, we're dropping some bangers for you to make your wallet a little bit fatter for the national championship. But my number 1 prop tonight, guys, it's really going to surprise you guys. I'm going LJ Cryer over 16.5 points. I know it's a
wait till you hear my second prop. Wait till you hear my second prop.
Now it sounds like you're going under. Cryer's gotten over this total in 3 of 5 tournament games. And when he does, he flies over it. He dropped 30 when the team needed him the most against Gonzaga in that close game. I think it was a 7-point victory. 26 against Duke as part of that historic comeback. Some players just have that it factor and have the ability to kind of rise up when the team needs offense. LJ's that player. He's been absolute money from 3-point land this year, especially in this tournament. He was 4 for 9 versus SIU Edwardsville, 6 of 11 against Gonzaga, 6 of 9 against Duke. He has that, propensity to fire up shots from deep, no matter the narrative of the game. He's the engine that runs that Houston offense. On top of that, he's already made history twice in this tournament. He's the first player to make the Final Four with 2 separate teams. He scored the most points by a Houston player in a tournament run since Hakeem Olajuwon did so in 1984. I mean, his draft stock, like Walter Clayton's, is rising. He'll be firing early and often tonight, man. He's got to keep up with the Walter Claytons of the world as well. So look for him to cash his play, I would say midway through the second half, if not earlier, but he will be aggressive tonight. He will be looking for his shots, and I'm going 𝐿𝐨𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 over 16.5, and I think you can get that at -118 over at FanDuel, depending on the sportsbook that you play.
Yep, -118 is the current line.
-118, perfect. Hey, again, 400 of you guys in here. We appreciate you guys. Alpha, your second best prop for tonight. Where are you going?
I don't know. I don't think anyone's heard this before, but I am also on 𝐿𝐨𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 over 16.5 points in this game. Double chalk. Double chalk, unfortunately. Walter Clayton and 𝐿𝐨𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. But they both have to be the guy.
Yeah.
They both have to be the guy in their respective teams tonight, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I think Crier's also going. We don't need to put the Yankee game on. The Ghost came on, so I apologize. 5-1. They're getting killed. Nobody
it's
wants
5-1?
to see
That's good for my over.
Nobody wants to see that. Anyway, 𝐿𝐨𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 is going to have to score 20. If Houston wins, do you guys see a way Houston wins with 𝐿𝐨𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 not hitting 20 points?
No, absolutely not.
Do you see a way, like I said with Walter Clayton, that they win if they, for some reason, aren't able to get him up to 25 points? I don't think either.
I kind of see it because Florida does have some scores, but nah, I think that would be less shocking than if Crier doesn't score 20 and they win. I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I do think both are going to get theirs. Crier's been here and done that before. He's a veteran. He's won a championship before at Baylor. He knows how to put the ball in the net. We are going to see him do that tonight. So my second play, Dustin, you made a million great points. I won't take any more time on that. I agree with you. 𝐿𝐨 Crier is going to get his.
So we're riding Crier tonight. I mean, it's hard not to. He's the stud on a team that's going for a national championship. How are you going to take that under? You're going to watch the best player, the best offensive player on Houston, and just sweat the under? Nah, that's not going to be me tonight. That's not going to be you tonight. Matt, who's your second favorite prop for the game tonight, brother?
𝐿𝐨 Crier over 2.5 made 3 points.
Thank God we got something different. We needed
Listen,
it.
if that happens, we're very happy ourselves, Dustin. If you get at least 9,
that means it's hitting for sure if Matt's on.
Whoa. Let's not do that.
Houston. Hey, go ahead, Matt. Sorry, we'll shut up.
So, no. Again, a very public play. I'm sorry, square play, call it what it is. But he's a big-time player, and it's a big-time moment. He's 6 for 9 from deep against Duke, 8 for 14 overall from the floor. He's actually shooting 40.8% from the floor overall, but 45.2% from three-point range in the tournament. He's made threes in the tournament, 4, 6. He only had 1 against Purdue, 2 against Tennessee, and then 6 against Duke. His last 20 games, Crier's had multiple three-pointers 17 times, including 3 or more 13 times. Florida's defense, believe it or not, they're third in the country defending the three-pointer, 29.5%. But in the last 3 games, Maryland's 𝐒𝐭𝐲 Gillespie went 3 for 7. He shot 35% overall in 3 tournament games, but he went 3 for 7 against Florida. Texas Tech's Darian Williams, 3 for 8. He'd been 3 for 8 in the tournament coming into the thing. And Chad Baker-Mazara went 4 for 7. He entered the game in a 7 for 26 3-point shooting slump. So Florida can give it up. It's usually only one player who gets more than 2 against Florida. Yeah. That player figures to be Crier.
Yeah, and he's
I hope you hit
before, man. He's been launching. He's been launching from 3-point range. 9 against Edwardsville, 11 against Gonzaga, 9 against Duke. Like, he will be shooting his 3.
That's not going to stop tonight, by the way. If that's their style coming in the tournament and all their big games, he's chucking up a ton of threes. It's going to happen again.
Yeah,
he's going to go 5 for 5 from 3-point range, not take a 2-point shot, not get to the line.
I will never speak to you again if that happens now. Ever.
Okay, I'll head over because I'm doing a little bit different. No 𝐿𝐨 Crier for my second prop. No Walter Clayton. I'm going Joseph Tugler over 6.5 rebounds at plus money, plus 104 right now. Remember when I talked about that Houston defense and the wingspan? They have 2 guys with a wingspan of 7'5", but are only just 6'7". Like, yeah, that's Tugler. He's an absolute weapon. You better believe I'm taking his rebounds tonight, man, especially at plus money. It's just plus 104 for that guy. He's brought down 8 against Duke. This was before he got 9 rebounds against Tennessee. He got 11 rebounds against Gonzaga. And those are all games in which he logged, some serious minutes. If you're going for the national championship, you better believe one of your best rebounders on the team is going to be logging some serious minutes again tonight. The number's only 6.5. He's gone over that number 3 out of 5 games. Like I said, man, he's just a plain menace around the rim. Florida loves to shoot the ball. They're averaging close to 85 points per game this tournament. Like I said, he'll be playing the entire game, if not close to it. He's the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. let them guide you to some money tonight. Play this at plus money. So we've got LJ Cryer, we've got Tugler, we've got Walter Clayton. We've got a lot of overs tonight. We've got a lot of overs for what is only a total of 140, but those overs the points are actually kind of low for the numbers.
Exactly. It's all about the totals are lower because the game is expected to be lower.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, I think these guys are going to come out shooting, and if the whole tournament is of any indication, they will be coming out shooting, which is what we want. All right, guys, we've been through our top 2 props. We've capped the game. If you have one play, your favorite bet of the night, what do we have? Alpha, what's your favorite bet of the night?
Walter Clayton over 19.5 points is my favorite bet of anything tonight.
Yeah, I love that. Matt, you're a pound the table bet tonight that was going to hit.
I think it's Cryer's 3-point. I think he's going to get 3. He's going to get at least 3 against his team. I believe in Clayton too, but again, as far as my national championship pick, I've got some confidence, not a lot. So I'd say my favorite play that I've talked about today would be Cryer over 2.5 3-points.
I respect that.
I would say Houston money line. I've got a plus 600 national championship title ticket in their name. But like I said, man, it's going to be a razor-thin margin of victory tonight. It's going to be a very close game. I love Houston money line. I will take them. But I'm also, my pound the table bet for the night is LJ Cryer over 16.5 points. He's that engine of the Houston team. And if they're going to win, he's going to have to come up big. So we've got LJ Cryer. We've got a lot of variety here, as per usual. We've got 450 people in here live watching. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Have yourself a great night. Tune in from tip-off. It's going to be a hell of a game. And, hey, remember, if you tail us or fade us, we still love you. And thank you for tuning in throughout the entire March Madness show. This caps off our 3 shows for March Madness. We'll talk soon. We'll talk soon. We're not going to be strangers for Alpha and Matt. Hey, we appreciate you guys. And
have fun tonight, folks.
Good. Hey, have fun tonight, and go Blue Jays as well.
Let's go Florida, baby. Let's beat these 2 bozos. Let's go.
Have a good one. See you guys. Yeah, I'm still